Well, good afternoon or good early evening, however you want to describe it. Welcome back to VP4TV, and we're here on Sunday for another one-loss side match in this year's VP4 2023 Virtual World Straight Pool Championship, and it's between Cobra from the UK, Hairpig from the USA, race to 150, and for some strange reason they've chosen to start the match at 3 minutes to 6, just to be awkward. So we're about, how far away are we? We're not that far away, probably another 3 or 4 minutes. Welcome to Slim, welcome to Dwight, welcome to Chimpy, and welcome to anybody else that's out there. Well, first of all, I want to say well done to Spudboy, because it was a match last night, about 10:30 it started. I was long gone in bed at that time, but I was surprised when I looked at the result. I didn't think he would win. I don't think anybody thought he would win, but I'm really impressed that he only lost by 10 points. So he was in the match for quite a bit by the look of it, and you know, a roll of the ball the other way, he could have actually took out Woody. So I think that was an excellent performance by Spudboy, just to hang in there. Okay, he probably didn't get any decent runs, but that's not what it's about. That's what I keep saying. It's not about whether you score loads on a visit. It's about scoring sensibly and then knowing when to just duck and dive and try and make it awkward. So he made a match of it. So very well done to Spudboy. That's a much better effort than he did in the last straight pool that he was in. He was a total disaster, but that's a good performance by Spudboy. So, well, Woody is through. What I'm going to do is, hang on a minute, I'll just get the banners up so I can go to the bracket. I don't know whether I've got the bracket up. No, I don't. So Woody's now through, as expected, to play semi-pro. So that's an all UK affair, that match. Then, of course, now the winner of that one will play Bill, who's sitting there waiting. And then further through, of course, we've got Chiku, who has come over from that winner's side. And then we have the match tonight between Cobra and Hairpig. Further down, we've got VP Monster and Fast Eddie. And when's that? Is that tomorrow? Let me have a look. Yeah, that's tomorrow at 4 PM, so I'll be able to get that. I'll be home in plenty of time for that one. And of course, that's a one-loss side match as well, so it's two good matches to look forward to. There's going to be less and less, of course, because there's not many left in the tournament. But every single one that's left in this tournament now can win it. They have to believe they can. And none more so than Hairpig, because he's got the chance of taking out a big scalp tonight. And, well, let's hope he's up to the task to make it a match and doesn't give it away. That's all I'm interested in. I want to see a match. We all want to see a match, and we want to see Cobra pushed. That makes it a lot more entertaining. I don't know whether Steve's going to be here because there's been no correspondence. He might be busy. I'm sure that he's aware that it's on. I'll have a quick look. And he's not there. So again, if he appears in the room, then we'll know he's there. We will just wait on this room going up and we'll get straight in. Good afternoon. Welcome to Bill. And of course, Wanwa, I don't know how long he's been ranting in the lobby, but he's been ranting since I came in. I knew he would. Once you get the good news. Oh dear. I'm actually glad he's ranting in the lobby. Hopefully that will take the sting out of him actually wanting to write a 3-page essay and send it to Steve, just to annoy him even more. Right, how's the time? Well, the room should be going up. It's about 3 minutes to 6 PM. And we're going to dive in straight away. And of course we'll have the most important bit of the match right off the bat. winning that lag. Hairpig, of course, arrived a few minutes ago, and there we go, room is up, so we're diving in. We're not hanging about. Check my little doodle's working. And Hairpig doing the right thing as well. Getting a practice or two in on the lag. He might not get that much because Cobra's probably going to come straight in as well. He might just have enough time to get another one in. That's too heavy this time. Now, whenever you're practicing the lag, you really should be getting inside that first diamond each time without any problem. You know, where the cue ball is now, you should be getting it inside that first diamond every time you lag. And if you're not, then you maybe need to tweak your mouse a little bit. Right, now, the fact that Cobra isn't here, in fact now spoke to as soon as he's arrived. So Cobra's on the right hand side, or the one nearest me. Well, Cobra might actually come back too far, and he has done. Hairpig has won the lag. So Cobra to break. I've never seen Cobra break. He's trying the semi-pro break. Loads of right English trying to come into the back of the pack. And that'll work. That was very well played. That was excellent. That's probably the best break-off I've seen. Apart from semi-pros against LS3, where he nailed it first time, I think. Yeah, Hairpig's got absolutely nothing. And of course, this 15 ball's the problem here. I mean, if he tries to come to that area, he's in danger of leaving a shot on. Now he's spotted something. He's trying to knock this 9 in off the 13. This is brave, and that's very well thought out. Excellent. That's a cracking start, a cracking reply from Hairpig. Well, he's got choice of balls as well now to pick through here. Now that 13 and 7 aren't set, but if you became really desperate, you could play it and make it. But I don't think that'll remain there. But there's a lot of nice little areas to get in here just to pick these off. This is an excellent table. Well, Albinario stuck his neck right on the block. Cobra 150 and Hairpig 49. I think you're being a little bit ungenerous to Hairpig there. Well, he looked as if he'd absolutely nothing, but he got the carom to work off the whatever it was for the 9 to go in. It was really well done. It was brave, because the consequence of a miss there, these would have all been Cobras. So, well, he's really got to take the advantage straight away here after that effort, getting that pot. Now, well, if he's looking to cut the 1, I presume he's going to play for the 2 next if he's doing that. He's got the 12. He's got the 3 as well. It's a wee bit tight past the 7, and again with a blind angle here, You know, you're not looking at the pocket, and the danger is cutting into that 7. This is just a wee bit testy, and commentators called it again. That's the danger with that shot. When it's a blind angle like that, you're not looking at where that object ball's going to, and the 7 ball was encroaching on it. And straight away, Hairpig's blown it after that good start. Oh, he might be made to suffer for that one. And I think, there was the alternative. He could have cut the 12 in. You know, that's a more reliable shot, and Steve obviously has arrived. Did you see, well, you weren't in the room, but you never saw that shot there, Steve?
No, I missed it.
Well, as far as we've just started. Hairpig won the lag, put Cobra in to break off. Cobra did the semi-probate from the left-hand side as we look. Loads of right English, clipped to pack, went right back into the pack. He was nailed on a ball. Hairpig had absolutely nothing, but he played a billiard, knocked a 9 ball onto, I think, the 13, and it went into the top right-hand corner. That was the shot he called, and a great start for Hairpig. But then he left himself a bit square on a 7 ball, on a whatever ball it was. He had to try and cut it into the top right-hand corner. And the 7 ball was very close to it. And of course, when it's a blind cut you're doing into a pocket, he did the obvious. He pushed the object ball onto the 7, and that was the end of his visit. So, from a great start from Hairpig, he only ended up getting 5. Getting, what was it, 6?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, my view on this is what each player needs to do. Cobra really just needs to keep progressing. I mean, he practices. We already know he's got good skills, and he just needs to keep getting better at straight pull. Hairpig, you know, he's got a little taller hill to climb because obviously he's not quite as proficient as Cobra, and I think his straight pull knowledge is a little better, but Hairpig's just gotta, you know, not miss balls. That's been his big problem.
Well, he might be getting an object lesson and not missing balls right now. Oh, by the way, before you arrived, I was heaping praise on Spudboy for his efforts last night.
Yeah, Spudboy played very well. I mean, I saw some of the match. I watched a little bit of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing, but yeah, it was a close match.
Well, he did. I thought he done excellent. I mean, obviously he was in with a chance at some point. In the end, only losing by 10. So I'm sure Woody would have been sweating, maybe thinking he was a strong favourite for it. And in the end, Spudboy almost done him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would have been something if Spudboy won, but congrats to Spudboy. I mean, all the hard work. I know he's been practicing. I know he's been in here on the streams listening, and
well, he hung in.
Off for him.
You know, he hung in a far better performance and effort than he had in the last straight pool championship he was in. He was awful.
He's getting better. I've noticed a couple people in this tournament. Spudboy is one of them. Another one's been Chimpy. You know, his game's really gone up. His straight pull game seems to be getting better. His game overall seems to be going up. So, I mean, playing a lot, practicing, it all makes a difference.
By the way, here, Steve, I've got bad news for you. You upset Wanwa.
I know. Oh, you know, here's the thing. It's he's like the guy that sees somebody drop their wallet and he picks it up, and instead of giving it back, he keeps the money. I mean, you know, I told him before that rating was wrong because there was a problem with the rating system that I fixed.
Yeah,
and he had a fit when yet he tries to complain about his handicap in the tournament because, you know, the new method that I put in of doing, well, it's not new anymore, but the method I put in of doing the handicaps takes into account other games.
Mm-hmm.
And so his rating, he went in a handicap tournament, his rating was really high because of his stupid straight pull rating.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, he's just not very rational about things. He wants to complain about his handicap, yet when he has a rating of a game that's totally bogus, he doesn't want it changed.
Yeah, well, we told him about 3 or 4 times in the lobby, and he just doesn't read that. He doesn't
Hey,
read that part.
he should be glad he's a 2100 because I think that's too high for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tried to, make the numbers. I changed a number of them, and I tried to put the numbers at something that was reasonable.
Well, he'll see the difference now. If he plays straight pool and he wins or he loses, he'll see how much his rating changes. It's a lot more normal now.
Well, if he plays a handicap tournament, at least he won't be at a disadvantage.
No, that's true. He'll be happy about that now. He won't be hit as hard.
I want to say something about Hairpig and some of his comments, and I think that could potentially be hurting him in his play. He says, like on the back cuts, break shots, that it's a lot harder in VP in real life, and he may be true about that. That may be correct. I'm not. I have trouble pocketing balls on VP, but I think a lot of it's kind of because I can't aim quite the same way I do in real life. But that's besides the point. Anyhow, I mean, these shots that are blind shots, like the one he had down the rail, or the cutback break shots,
Mm-hmm.
whether or not those are harder in VP than real life, you need to practice them. Because if you practice them, you're going to get better at them. So, I don't know that he does this, but if he's like looking at that like, oh, well, I missed that and it's because it's harder in VP, I mean, that's just an excuse. You just got to figure out a way to get better, and you need to practice those shots. I don't know if he does or doesn't. If he does, that's good, and he'll probably get better at them. If he doesn't, he should be.
Well, I'll tell you the obvious thing, Steve. None of these guys in this tournament, or I would say about 95%, and might even be slightly more than that, 95% of them will probably not go near straight pool again until the next big tournament comes around. That's what it's like. They'll be straight back to 9-ball.
I think Hairpig practices it. I think he said he did, but that's probably real life. I mean, it's a great game to practice in real life. I do. I'm not really playing pool now, but when I'm playing, I practice straight pool a lot because it helps you with your patterns. If you play good straight pool, you can play any game.
Yeah,
That's bottom line.
Chimpy said it right, and it is true. 95% will be straight back to their 9-ball or 10-ball or 8-ball, and they don't go near straight pool. And I think,
well, that's fine.
In some sense, they probably should spend more time doing it, having in tournaments.
That's their prerogative. This is entertainment. I'm just saying, if you want to get better, it's a good game to practice. One pocket's good to practice, but this is fun. If they don't want to do it, then don't do it. I mean, but don't expect.
And don't complain. Don't complain when you keep missing the cutbacks.
Yeah.
Don't blame Steve about the cutbacks. Welcome to Fast Eddie.
I'm not saying what Hairpig is saying is wrong. Honestly, I'm not really quite sure. Pool is weird because in real life, I missed that cutback shot all the time for a long time. And, I worked on my game, and not necessarily just that particular shot, but I worked a lot. And I shot a lot of those blind shots, like cutback shots up in the far corner pocket, like where, you can't see the pocket. And I shot those shots, like I'd shoot them hundreds of times in a row. And because what you're trying to do is train yourself spatially, where you know where the pocket is. You can't see it, but you know where it is.
Yeah.
And, I just got to the point where, when I was playing well, I just didn't miss balls. I mean, I've played, I remember one tournament, 5 races to 5, 9-ball tournament. I didn't miss a ball in 5 races. So I could never do that at one point. I mean, it was a mystery to me. Why do I miss balls? Why do I have trouble with this shot? And I can't tell you what the magic bullet was, but I practiced a lot, and I just, I stopped missing balls. And even now, not playing, if I get back into it and I feel good at the table, I'm probably not going to miss a whole lot of balls. And that's why when you watch the good players play, they just don't miss very many balls.
Well, I suppose at the end of the day, it's about being honest to yourself and telling yourself, what shots, what's your weakest shots? Is the cutback the weakest shot? And if so, then practice a lot more of them until it just becomes a natural thing. As you say, when you're on a particular cutback shot into the corner, but it's a break shot and straight pull, then you don't really have to sit. You don't have to turn around and look at the angle, 2 or 3 times before you shoot. It just it becomes a normal thing. It becomes natural. You see the shot and you play it because you've played it hundreds of times.
And there's no doubt that the visual on VP4 is not the same as real life. I mean, it's a 3D image protected on a 2D screen. So, but I believe that you can train yourself. I see guys that just don't miss very many balls, and if they're doing it, then other people can do it. Cobra doesn't miss a lot of balls. Albin doesn't. Semi-Pro doesn't. Some of these guys just don't miss very many balls, and you got to say, well, why? And really, when you're a player, and I've said this a lot of times, it's very difficult for a young pool player to become really good without being in the right pool room. Because if you don't see these guys that are great players and you don't play against them, you don't really understand how good you can really be. You don't really understand that you can play like a god when you get rolling if you don't experience it. So if you're from some podunk town and you never see that, but online here, we've got some guys that play pretty good. So if they're not missing balls, then you as a player should be able to practice and get to that level. I don't think Albin or Cobra or Semi-Pro have anything special that anybody else doesn't have. I think it's just kind of their approach to the game, and they work hard, and they've figured things out. A lot of it's just knowledge.
Well, this is becoming a little bit painful here for Hairpig early on because Cobra's doing what he does.
Well,
already racked up 38.
This is a tough match for somebody that is at Hairpig's level because he's not going to get a lot of chances. So if you're the kind of guy that, makes some unforced errors and you're playing against a guy that is playing good that isn't making errors, it's just very difficult because you don't get very many chances.
The worst thing about it is that when he played that cut shot and missed and ran it into the 7, he had an alternative option, which if you weren't comfortable on the shot, he should have took an alternative route. He had an alternate shot he could have played, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, Semi-Pro, he says he practices snooker or whatever. I mean, I spent a lot of time with focus practice working on this part of my stroke or working on this shot, or I'd have shots where if I was practicing and I missed a ball or whatever, a particular shot, I might sit there and shoot it for a half hour straight, or I might shoot it till I made it and got the cue ball where I wanted 20 times in a row, or I mean, you've got to get kind of anal about how you practice because the hardest thing in the world for a human to be is consistent. It's, to say, well, I'm going to play pool and I'm not going to miss balls. I mean, that's super hard to do, and because it's against human nature. Humans make a lot of mistakes.
Well, he's okay. He's got a shot. They didn't really come apart well.
he's, you know, the thing about Cobra is he pockets balls and moves the cue ball well. He makes a few pattern mistakes in this game, and sometimes he does some things that don't look good, like that break shot he tried off the one ball. But you know, his skill level is so high. It's kind of like watching some of these champions that don't really play a lot of one pocket play one pocket. The guy was watching Mika Inneman play one pocket, and he doesn't really play a lot of one pocket. You know, he just runs out.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, he doesn't even try to move that much. He just runs out all the time. But you know, he's got that high a gear where he can do that. And Cobra's kind of like that. You know, he's not really that well versed in straight pull, but his gear is so high that you know he's going to run a lot of balls. And honestly, I think with Cobra, Cobra's a good example of somebody that you know, why is he winning so much and why does he do so well? And you know, like I don't think his patterns are as good as somebody like semi-pros or Albans, but he just hardly misses balls.
You
I
know,
mean,
he finds a way. Most of the time, he does.
yeah, and you know his cue ball is pretty good. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the shots that he plays, but you know he tends to play too many draw shots. But he's really good at it. So at least if you're gonna do something too much, make it something you're really good at. He's got a little bit of a problem here. He needs to go back and forth and shoot the 5 ball next.
Oh, he's waiting for the bump.
See, I wouldn't have done
Oh,
that.
that might be dead set though. Hang on a minute.
Well, he's okay though. I think he'd just shoot the 5 and then the 8.
No, it isn't. It's nowhere near it.
And go up and down the table maybe. I don't know. Let's see if he rolls this or goes up and down the tables. He's just going to roll it. And that's good speed.
He might use the 15 ball as a break shot. You never know.
No, he's going to use the 3. I wouldn't in this situation. The three's a lot better than the 15. I mean, those kind of break shots like the 15, that's, you know, that's not a terrible break shot, but it's not, you're not going to be able to control the cue ball as well. You know, for the 3 ball is a lot safer.
Well, he can push this into the far side of the pocket, go to the rail and come out into line. And that'll do nicely.
Yeah, well, Cobra's mental game is pretty good. I mean, he's pretty solid. He shows up most of the time, and he doesn't dog it a whole lot. That was well played there. Well.
Again, just a quick reminder for any latecomers, we've got this match tonight. We've got one tomorrow afternoon, which is 4 p.m. my time. That's 11 a.m. Eastern. And that's one lost side match with Fast Eddie and VP Monster. And that should be a close match as well. But Fast Eddie is going to go in it as a favourite.
Yeah, Fast Eddie needs to play a little better than he did his last match, because he struggled. But, you know, I mean, that's pool. So, in real life, I don't know, you guys probably remember me harping on about Anton Raga for the last 3 years or so. I've watched him play a lot in the Philippines. And how I thought he was just, you know, a great player and was, you know, going to really rip things up. Well, he started playing outside of the Philippines in May of this year. Mm-hmm. So what's that? That's like 5 months ago or something?
June, July, August, yeah.
So he had no Fargo rating. Okay. As of right now, he is number 2 in the world on the Fargo rating. Josh Filler is number 1. He's number 2. So in 5 months, he's gone from unrated to the second ranked player in the world. Oh, yeah. He's been, you know, he hasn't won a lot. I think he's won 1 or 2 tournaments, but he's been coming in second, third. I mean, like every tournament. And the interesting thing about that is that the one guy that I always said that Raga played like was Josh Filler. because they both play a lot off of stun, which is, you know, that's more of a snooker thing, not so much a pool thing. But both those guys play off stun a lot, and they're number 1 and 2 ranked.
Right, Steve, just clarify the Fargo rating for the viewers, because some might not be familiar enough with it.
Well, the Fargo rating system is basically, you know, a rating system that's pretty much like what we do on virtual pool. It's the same sort of system algorithmically. They, you know, have scaled it to a little different number, but it's basically
Does it not go into a lot more detail in terms of shots that you know, first of all,
no,
shots that you miss and things like that?
no. It's
Getting out of line.
just like virtual pool. It's based solely on your win-loss against. You get points just like you do in virtual pool based on how strong a player you're playing. Oh, why? Jeez. You go to Fargo rate and you click on the top players and it doesn't show you anything.
So it's broken, is it?
Yeah, their website's broken. Let's see. Oh, here it came up. It just took forever. Okay, so it's changed slightly. Well, actually, they're tied. So Josh Filler his rating is 843. Anton Raga and Fedor Gorst are both 838. FSP is or FSR is 837. Shane Van Boning's 834. Kachi's 829. Dennis Okoyo's 827, and he isn't even playing in the U.S. because he can't get a visa. He got kicked out. Jungling Chang is 827. Jason Sao is 827. Ping Chung Ko, that's the younger one, is 826. Pin Yi Ko, that's the older one, is 826. Beato's 825. Oliver Villafuerte, he's a Filipino player that I don't really know. He's 824. Yap is 823. Ushan's 821. Sturzik is 817. Figen is 815, which is pretty incredible at his age. So if you had any doubt that this kind of rating system doesn't work, that's a pretty accurate list of who's really on top of the pool world. I mean, it's hard to argue with that list. I mean, that's based on actual results.
Well, I suppose if you were going to be a bit critical of Raga's rating at the moment, his rating's high. He's obviously had a lot of good wins, but not a lot of, you know, he's not got a long history on that Fargo rating because he's only been on it 5 months, as you say. So he'll do well to keep it as high as that, though. That's one thing. It's maybe, you know, look at it in a year's time and see where he is. He might be in top for all we know, but
well, he's not going to be going way down. I mean, he's, you know, most of those tournaments that he's done well on are the Euro tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, the ones the Masterum's running. So, you know, I mean, most of the Filipinos haven't gone and played in Europe. That's the thing is you still got a guy, there's still a guy who, his name is, what's the hell? the guy with a really cool looking stroke. Jericho Banyaris.
Never heard of
You know,
him.
Another guy, tremendous player. If he was playing, he would do the same thing as Raga. I don't think he'd go up as quick, but he'd probably be within the top 20 easily if he was on tour for a year. Now, if you look at the what they call the WNT, which is Matchrooms things, number 1 is Ruiz, number 2 is Van Boning, number 3 is Filler, but that's just the money list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's just their money list from, and that's only their tournaments. So
Well,
the U.S. Open's coming up this month, the 25th through the 30th at Harrah's in Atlantic City.
well, they'll all be in that.
They will all be in that, and
Many's a field in that. Is that 200 or is it a lot more?
It's 256.
256. Well, this is definitely becoming painful for Hairpig sitting watching this. Mark Blisterbosch, or whatever it is.
Well, I can't believe that Raga won't be in this. Pia Filler's in it. It's interesting that, it's great to see some of the women get in there.
Well, he's got to watch the pace off the back of these balls if he's got to try and catch the side, maybe a bit of left English so that he doesn't go into the middle of the pack. Well, he's went and scratched. Commentator's eye.
Oh, you killed him.
I knew it. You've got to watch a bit of left English. I think he needed there. He went too far right. I think he should have maybe checked it a bit. But anyway, Hairpig will be relieved that he's actually at the table. A good run there from Cobra.
The big challenge when you're Hairpig is when you're in this situation and you're not going to get very many shots, you need to be in rhythm right away. You need to be comfortable in rhythm right away, and that's one of the really hard things to learn. I think whether it's virtual pool or real life, it's very difficult to learn how to play when you get very few chances.
Well, this is one of the big tests for you when you're in the tournament. You're on the one-loss side. You've watched your opponent run 70, and you've got to reply.
Yeah, I probably spent a year when I started playing pool again and got better. I probably spent a year losing when I felt like, I was good enough to win some of the tournaments I was playing, and I spent a year losing because I couldn't figure out how to play when I didn't get very many chances. It's very difficult. And I think, it's the same thing at VP because it's mostly a mental thing.
Slim says
hopefully Hairpig does something good here.
Yeah, well, for his sake and the sake of the match, yeah. Wonder who the all-time gambling winner is.
Oh, I can tell you that. It's got to be Jack Cooney.
Now, is he a player of the past?
Yeah. It's got to be Frisco Jack Cooney. The thing about gambling is it's not as important how you play as how you match up. That's the most important thing is how you match up.
So do you need a good fixer? What do you call the guy that arranges your matches?
Well, usually most matches
your
aren't arranged. I mean, it's usually between the players. The backer's not usually arranging it. The backer just has to sign off on it. Well, the pool players, they want to play. I mean, they're not risking anything. If they win, they get half. If they lose, the backer takes the whole loss. So
it's a good enough table for Hairpig here, but you wouldn't say he's got an ideal break ball, would you? That 9-ball will have to do as it's sitting.
Well, that's a pretty bold prediction there, Chimpy. I mean, he's a good player, but that that's pretty much a long shot.
Now, what's the format of this US Open? Is it like a group stage and the top 2 or 3 go through, or what? And then it's knockout. Is that not what it's been like for the last few years, or am I mixing up with the World Championship?
It's a double elimination tournament.
Double elim.
Yeah, it's a winners losers bracket. There's no,
Is it? It's the World Championships that have a group thing, and then yeah.
Yeah, it's unless they changed it, it's traditionally been just
Uh-oh. Well,
yeah, they've already got the draw done too. Wow.
Well, I thought it was going to be 8-ball bar table semi-pro. Or at least that's what was sort of mentioned.
I don't know if they seeded this thing or not. Let's see.
Well, this is the first test for Hairpig, really. It's going to be his first rack where he's going to have a break shot.
Yeah, it looks like they've
seeded it.
Seeded it, yeah. Because all the players I'm seeing that are the top players are not playing guys that are.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, come on, Hairpig. Here's that cutback.
Yeah, I still like him to be parallel with that 9-ball rather than this.
This is really fine because the thing is you can hit a little easier, and he hit it perfect.
Yeah, and his cue ball stayed in the table, and
he may have been practicing that shot. I mean, that's the smart thing to do is just practice that shot a lot.
He might have to bail out here, by the way. I don't think he's anything this end of the table. He's going to have to run the 2-ball. Yep. I mean, he could take the 1.
Yeah, but with these pockets, I'll tell you something. These kind of pockets, it is easier to pocket balls, and down the rail the pockets play a little bit looser. You can't hit them really bad, and going in the throat they play a lot looser. Like that cutback shot he had there, when you're like coming in like directly into the pocket like that at an angle where it's like kind of centered on the pocket, tight pockets for that shot, play a lot more difficult. Because you can't use the rail at all. If it hits the rail, unless it just nicks the corner, it's not going in. So having a bigger pocket at that angle is a huge advantage.
Right, if this is me at the table, I've already chosen the 10-ball. So I'm doing everything to find my way around this 10-ball. I'm doing nothing else other than that.
Yeah, I mean, the 10-ball's fine. The 13's not bad. The 11's not bad. So...
Well, I'd be getting rid of the 8-ball next and then get rid of the 13 up table, or down table towards us. That's no great, is it? What's he done here?
I mean, what you can do is,
okay.
This is the way you kind of want to think about it. If you're saying, well, if I had a stop shot on that 4-ball, that would be perfect to get on the 10. Then you look at the 13 ball and you go, well, if I had a stop shot on the 13, I'm just about perfect on the 4-ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you got to start looking at it. Now, that 4-ball is a shitty key ball if you don't have that 13 there, because it's in the middle of the table and you get a little funny on it, and now you're in trouble. So if you're going to say, well, I'm going to use that 4-ball, then you want to save the 13 to get on the 4. And, well, here goes the 10, so it's not going to be the 10-ball.
Mm.
And otherwise, using something like the ball that's up table. What is that ball that's up table?
At the 12. See, I would have ran the 4
like
up.
That.
I would have ran the 4 up the table there just to keep the 10-ball there, because you're not going to be on another ball after potting the 4.
Now this is a little funny here because it wants to run on a line that's going between the 8 and the.
He's digging in to avoid that.
I think that's smart. You hit it good.
Now,
So I
now,
would be playing for the 8. And he's a little past it, so he may have to shoot something else.
well, it's
He
going to be
could shoot it.
13 then.
He's going to use a 13. I wouldn't. The 13's a good break ball.
And is he thinking about keeping the 1 ball there or the 4 ball to get to it?
Now, I will say this about a ball like the 13. Okay, if you're trying to get so that you don't have a cutback on that, the space you have is pretty small. Because where that is, since it's closer to the long rail, it's not as close to the rack. If you try to get like not much angle on that, you're liable to get straight in. You have a very small area. So when you keep a ball like the 13, there's a higher chance of you ended up having to play a cutback shot. And I will say this: I had a lot of trouble with that shot. I still wouldn't say I'm great at it because when you're in that spot and the ball's kind of like up above the second diamond, that cutback angle it's just visually different than like the last one he had.
He's maybe straight in here.
I think it's a harder shot.
Yeah, he's bolt straight on this 12. And now he's in a bit of trouble because, you can only go forward.
No, he can just jack up on this.
Well,
he can just jack up and spare it.
He's a bit close to the rail for jacking up.
Or he could shoot the 15 too. I mean, he could shoot the 15 and get the 1 in the side pocket.
He's pinched it a bit to get the cue ball running.
Yeah, he could have shot the 15 and shot the 1 because there's nothing wrong with using the 12 to get on the 13.
He's good now. He's good now as long as he gets good in that 1.
Yeah, and the advantage of having a 1 there is that you can get the angle you want. Yeah, so he could just roll this. Stopping it's no good. He has to just bump it real easy.
Yeah, that'll do it. Just right in the donut. That's exactly where he wants to be.
So this is the kind of shot you want to go forward with. I'd put a little right English on it too, not much, because you want to drive into this rack. Most of the guys in VP are stunning this shot, but especially where you're here and you got some space between the 13 and the rack where the top spin can really grab and go.
Oh, he's stuck. Yeah. Is he?
Well, see, that's why you don't stun that. I wouldn't have done that. I would have gone forward with it. Because the forward is going to keep you from scratching. When you hit the rack and it goes to bounce off it and go to the corner, the forward spin on the cue ball is going to drive the cue ball back towards the end rail.
Well, he's looking around and looking around. He's got to play the 3.
The only way you can scratch going top on that shot is if another ball comes out of the rack and bumps the cue ball really hard towards the corner, and that would be pretty rare.
Well, this is a big shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he made a mistake in how he played that break shot.
Yeah, you've got to get that cue ball out of there.
I would say you also had a little bit of bad luck because he could have hit it that way 10 times and probably only ended up like this once.
The run is 30 at the moment.
Now, I would go forward on this. He's not.
Well played.
And that was right in the throat. Well, you know what? This is good because hairpig looks like he came to play. He's doing what he needs to. He was sitting for a long time, and he's
Well, that shot there alone should settle the stomach a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to crank up another 9-ball league. Probably 6-man teams. What do we have? It was 4 guys playing?
Yeah, 4. Yeah, well, it eventually got moved up to 6 players in the team, and 4 were live each week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it.
Or was it 3? Was it 3? I can't remember.
Oh, it was 3 maybe. And maybe that's what we need because, we got to make sure we have players. We had too many forfeits last time. Part of it because of the time. The Filipinos just had problems. It was in 3 a.m. or something for them. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys want? I mean, Semi-Pro said what he wants. I mean, I'll do whatever anybody wants. I won't do 8-ball right now because I haven't done the point scoring thing, and I don't think 8-ball will work well handicap-wise. We could do 9-ball, we could do 10-ball. Those are probably the two best ones, but I think everybody likes 9-ball.
Well, what does he do? Does he take this 4-ball right now and try a breakout?
No, I wouldn't do that. No, that's too risky. No, I wouldn't do that at all.
He's gone the other way.
Yeah, I mean, that was okay.
No,
that was less risky.
He's sitting pretty good now. You've got, well, the 8-ball's right at the corner of the pack. The 9-ball would work this side as well.
Yeah, I'd play for the 8. I'd stun this 10, then look to play the 8 next. I'd just stun the 10 and bump the 11 out and play the 8 next. That's what looks like what he's doing. So, you know, he's playing a pretty good patterns here. I mean, he's really playing
now,
well.
though. Are you holding for the 4 to get rid of it?
I hope I'm not jinxing the commentator curse on him. Chimpy says 10-ball. I mean, I don't have a problem. I'll do 10-ball. I just, you know, 9-ball's always been the most popular game, but I don't have any trouble doing 10-ball.
Well, he's bumped to 8. The 7-ball's in the pack. The 8-ball's now a bit more away from the corner of that pack. I mean, he can still get good on this 8-ball if he's using the 11 to get to it, and that's what he's going to do. He should be nigh on perfect in this 8-ball for the break. Oh, let's have a look. If you can hear any rattling noises, that's my front door letterbox. We've got a storm moving in. Well, well, they're all important, but in the context of the match, it's very important. The hairpig nails this.
Okay, so I just ran a report on the month to date. You guys probably didn't know I can do this, but I can run reports on the logs, get all the errors, get what people have been playing. So percentage-wise,
watch the cue ball.
0.016.
Well, did somebody play a rack of it? Did they?
No, there was 9 games played. 8-ball pub. See, like 8-ball pub. Well, that's not. Let's see. Let's look at black ball. Black ball was 4.2%.
Hairpig's going to be back in a minute.
Straight pull was 2%. 8-ball world rules was 8.4%. 8-ball US 2 was 10%. 9-ball was 58%. 10-ball was 0.9%. That's why I'm hesitant to do a 10-ball league because, you know, it's just, I mean, almost 60% of the games played on VP4 at this month were 9-ball. Yeah, so that's why, Chimpy, I'd love to do 10-ball, but I'm afraid we just won't get enough players because nobody plays it. Well, I mean, there's a reason why most tourneys are 9-ball because, you know, that's what people want to play. It was low. Let's see. 3-ball, 0.3%. Yeah. Now, I mean, a lot of games are played, so let me put this more in context. 10-ball had 502 games. So it's not like nobody's ever playing it. Three ball had 162. One pocket had 154. So there's as many people playing one pocket as three ball. Semi-pro says I play 9-ball because I have no choice. Yeah, but the thing is that's I'm assuming you're saying you have no choice because that's what everybody wants to play. Yeah, I think he's shooting it now. I mean, he's got to look to break off this one ball. That's the only one that's any good. Key ball wise, I can already tell you right now, none of that 4, 15, 14, none of those balls are any good. You might as well get rid of those. And the 3 ball is really only good if you have a ball to get on it. So I'd probably be looking at using a 9 ball to actually get on that 1 ball. And I think that was a smart move there. Get the ball that's blocking the pocket out of the way. You should just roll through this and then shoot the 15 and go over for the 10 or the 11. And that's what he's going to do. I mean, hairpig, I got the impression that he came in to do a match with Slim. I was already in the booth, and I got the impression, he said he practiced straight pull. I got the impression it was in real life. So, he's one of these guys in VP that could really improve because he just needs to, tighten up his game a little, stop missing some balls because, the patterns he's playing here are good. Yeah. He got funny on this. He's in between the 10 and 11. He's shooting the right shot. He needs to hit this good and drag it past. Yeah. And that was okay. I mean, that was probably going to happen. He needs to shoot the 3 and play position probably on the 4 ball and then shoot the 11 in the side and then the 9. I would shoot the 3 here and play for the 4 ball. He's looking at the 9 and I don't like that because yeah, the 3's not bad. You can just sort of stun that up to the end rail and come back, try to get on the 4. If you don't hit it quite right, you still have a shot in 11, and you always have a shot on the 9. I would not take this 9 now. Yeah, well, that's 11. And he's a little funny here. I mean, it's not like there's not a shot that's easy to pot, isn't easy to pot, but what he's going to do with the cue ball, he's sitting a little funny here. Oh, and that was very well struck. And he's still a little funny. I think he's gonna. This is again a little funny because if he just he can, but if he just hits this with a little top, he's gonna have to roll this pretty good to get straight on the 3. He needs to get real high on the cue ball here. If he doesn't get high enough, he's not gonna have the angle he wants. And that's yeah. Oh, that's reasonable. He got close enough. And he ran through. I'm a little surprised he ran through that much, but maybe he's been practicing his cutback. So now this is one you do want to stun. This is one I would stun straight into that 6 ball. At the angle he's coming and stuff, I would just stun this. If you were going to do anything, you'd put maybe a half a Q-tip atop. I wouldn't put more than about a half a Q-tip, and that's just to hold it to keep it from coming off the 6, hitting the long rail, and coming back in the other side pocket. And right now, that's about what he's got. He's got probably a half a tip atop. Now see what the cue ball did? See how the cue ball hit the 6 and then just checked? It's because he had a little top on it. That's what you want to do. That was perfect. Because if you don't put that top on it, then it comes off the 6, hits the side rail, and spins up table and go in the other side pocket. Yeah, well, and what you got to do with the good players is you have to make them feel like you have to make them feel like you got a little funny here. He needs to shoot the 14. I would not shoot this 8 ball. I would not shoot this 8 ball. I would shoot the 14. You know that he's only got part of a pocket, and he's yeah, and just don't don't even don't even take the chance, or he's going to shoot the 10. That's fine. So yeah, when Cobra gets back to the table, he's going to know that he can lose this match because hairpig is just showing him that now, and that I'm not saying Cobra's just going to fall apart or anything, but that's going to be in his mind, and he might make a mistake that he wouldn't if he felt like he couldn't lose. Hugh, you're muted, supposedly.
Am I? I don't even remember hitting the button. Well, hairpig's on 62.
Well, semi-pro, that's because you don't understand the shot. I mean, I said what was going to happen, and it did exactly that. And if you don't do that, I said what you're risking, and I mean, if you just got to play more straight pull. You'll learn it on that shot, but you want to put just a teeny bit of top on it just to check it, because when you go in the side pocket enough times, you'll figure that out.
Yeah, he's in a wee bit of a problem here. And this 6 ball's a bit worrying where it's sitting. And I mean, now he's good to play that 13 ball. I don't know whether I think if he does play the 13, he would have to go to the rail and check it and come back for that 6 into the side. He's just not a great line on the 13.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he doesn't want to shoot that now.
Mm-hmm.
I would shoot the 4 and play shape for both the 14 and the 13.
He's doing what I'm saying. You know what I said. He's checking up to try and come back.
This is not the shot you shoot in straight pull. This is like a 9-ball shot. This is not the kind of shot you want to shoot in straight pull. But it's the 4 ball.
Yeah, but it's a shot you play in VP4. Oh, well, I don't know what he's trying to do there. The angle's too much.
Yeah, here's the thing: is that shot's too hard to control. See where he ended up?
Yeah.
The 4 ball was a simple shot. He could have played it around to try to get on the 6 or 3. He could have played it. What I was saying to get on the 13 or 14.
He can go on it now, though. Oh, I don't know that he wanted to do that, though.
I mean, that's the kind of shot you can miss, putting all that English on the ball from long distance.
He hit that too hard, and now he's in more trouble because he's running out of balls.
He's in trouble because he played the wrong pattern. I mean, it wasn't a difficult situation. He had plenty of balls to get to it. He played the wrong shot. That's why he's in trouble.
I mean, he could bite the bullet and bank the 3, couldn't he?
I wouldn't shoot that shot. That's a desperation shot.
Yeah.
The problem he's got is he bumped those balls together, and now they're right on top of each other. He's got real trouble here because if he goes to the 2 ball, then I don't know what he's doing here.
Well, he's trying to bump them from this side. That's what he's trying to do.
And the problem with this shot is that, whether you try to bump it or get on it, the problem with this shot is that, there's a good chance you're not coming out good.
I don't have anything like that, Slim. My old version of Gamecaster doesn't give you any information like that on the screen. And he's missed a bump. Now he has to decide, is it the bank? Well, it's more than obvious it's going to have to be the bank if he wants to keep this going.
It's a little tricky banking a 6-ball, and getting the cue ball out of the way is the problem. The way you have to hit this shot is with inside and draw and kind of a little softy.
Well, the worst thing about
this is a hard shot, or you got to cross it and let the cue ball go up table.
Yeah, but the worst thing about it, Steve, is that if he doesn't get this, he's leaving a perfect break ball for Cobra.
Yeah, I mean that was a tough shot, but he did it to himself by
it all went wrong in that 13 ball
with all the English on it. That was just the wrong shot.
Well, he's in the match, but he's still actually trailing by 2 points. And
I'll tell you something. If you're playing this game and you get a situation where you're loading up a bunch of English, especially on a long shot like that, you better stop and think, do I have something that's simpler here? Do I really have to do this? Because that's not really the shot you want to shoot. I mean, John Schmidt, I talked to John Schmidt about how to play straight pull, and he said just stay away from inside. Now, does that mean he never uses inside? No, he uses inside. But as a general rule, he tries to stay away from it because it's less reliable.
Yeah. And it is a sort of desperation shot when you're trying to do that. I mean, the line that he had in the 13, I thought he would try and go forward and do that, but the angle he had was too much to ask the cue ball to come back.
He had two different ways to get the balls off the 4, and they were both easy. I just didn't understand why he was even keeping the 4 there. But, I'll tell you something, because I do this a lot. Not as much as I used to, but I still do it, where I'll come up with a plan, or I'm going to shoot this ball and that ball, and then I'll get a little funny, and I don't change the plan.
Yeah.
I go ahead and shoot the ball, and it's
biggest mistake.
Then I'm like, what are you doing? Just because you decided this was the order you wanted, the pattern you wanted to play, you can adjust it when you get kind of funny. So I've had, and that may have been what happened. He may have just decided, that I was going to play the 13 next and got funny on it and just couldn't get it out of his head.
Well, in reality, the best players adapt and survive in any sport. If something isn't working or you've done something daft, then the best players at it find a way out.
But I mean, you got to hand it to Hairpig. He came and played. He ran a 70. Well, what did he run? Like 69.
69 it was. Yeah, he was on 6. Yeah.
And he's in this match now. Cobra knows that he can win, and Cobra knows he's got to perform. And I'm kind of expecting Cobra will perform, but Albin's prediction's already out the window.
Oh yeah, Albie gave Hairpig nothing. I think he gave him
150 to 49.
49.
Well, Hairpig is one of the players that could be really good at this game. I think.
Well, that's
different.
Yeah, that's a break ball there.
Oh, the 14's good.
Yeah.
The 15's good too. Most guys aren't playing to the back, but the 15's a good break ball. And the funny thing about it, though, is when I have seen guys play from the back break ball, most of them, most of them are pretty comfortable with that shot. I haven't seen that shot missed, even with a back cut with that back ball. Most of the players are putting it in.
You see the 4 balls hanging there. You could easily use that to get on that 15 if you have to change your way out.
I don't like that, and I'll tell you why I don't like that. Well, because it's deep in the pocket, and with these wider pockets, when you shoot that 4 ball, it's real hard to keep from hitting the tit on the other side.
Yeah,
of how deep it is.
Yeah,
that's why I don't like it. Now in a narrower pocket, that it's more viable, but on those, I wouldn't. The other thing is, if you get where you can just shoot a stop shot.
Oh, he's okay.
if you get where you can shoot a stop shot and you have a back cut on it, you know, now you're right against the rail in the pocket, and visually that's funny. I mean, in real life, it's an issue with hand placement and stuff and stroke, but even on VP, it's a little funny being jammed up in the pocket like that.
Well, it's more than likely going to be the 14, but he's,
Oh yeah,
you know, he's
this is
going to have
simple.
to run the cue ball to get there, though. Hang on a minute.
I'm not sure I would have done that. I probably just rolled that.
Hang on a minute.
He's just taking
Yeah.
chances. He could have
Well,
just rolled it, or he could have shot a stop shot.
I
He's
don't
playing
know.
for the.
I don't know whether this is Plan B, that he was trying to get on the 5
Oh,
or
this is
whatever.
fine. He's just going to roll this, bump it off the rail, and that's perfect. Now, in this break ball, it's kind of in between. You could go either way. You could go top right or top left. Any further forward, and you'd have to go. He's going to go with the top. Oh, he missed the ball.
And he's missed the pot.
I guess I cursed it.
The pot. There you go.
I guess I gave him a. And you know, the interesting thing about that is he didn't take a lot of time. And I'm not saying he shot it too fast, but obviously he was very comfortable and confident with that shot, because he didn't take much time, and he ended up missing it.
Well, there's a lot of points here for Hairpig. I don't know whether he wants to be taking the 9 right now.
See, to me, when I see a player, you know, not take a lot of time on a shot like that, I don't look at it as like, oh, he didn't take enough time and that's why he missed it. I look at it like
he said
he was really confident, and he was really comfortable with that.
He just said it. He just said it in the chat himself there. He said rushed.
Yeah. Well, okay.
He at least admitted it.
Feels like he did. Yeah. Well, one of the and I recognize this because I've done it a bunch of times. One of the ways you dog it is when you get a little nervous, is you hurry up to get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
You hurry. I did that on a shot.
See that too many times.
I did that on a shot in a tournament when it was hill and 9-ball on the 8-ball, and it cost me $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll remember that shot for a long, long time. It's already been probably 5 years.
You're still having nightmares about it.
I wouldn't say I'm having nightmares, but you know, it's a human nature thing where one of the things that we do under pressure is we just try to hurry up and get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm bringing that up because it's Hairpig to put the pressure on him by showing Cobra that he can lose this.
Yeah.
I think that's a direct result of
psychological
Hairpig
warfare.
coming out and playing good against him. Yeah.
And of course, we don't know the outcome of this, but this could be another fairly good contribution potentially, and that really then ramps it up. You know, you kind of. The thing is that the one thing Hairpig didn't do is he didn't get in the lead from that visit he had, but he's got a good chance here to be making Cobra think, but he's still got to get rid of that deficit.
Hey, Hairpig's playing good. He's pocketing balls well. He's playing good patterns. I mean, I may have criticized I played that one pattern, but that's a 69 ball run, and that was the only one I really criticized. So it's not like he's making a lot of mistakes. He's playing well. He's doing the right things. As long as he can keep from missing balls, I think he's going to have a chance to win this.
And I think by the nature of how he's playing, he's not hanging about too much. He's taking his time, making sure he knows where he's going before he commits. I think he fancies this. I think he fancies giving this a good go. Yeah.
Well, he's working through this rack well. Would somebody who's played tons of straight pool play a little faster in this rack? Yeah. But, it's not like he's playing slow. He's taking a look and deciding how he wants to pick this puzzle apart.
We've got one isolated ball down here that he's going to have to get to, which he could do now if he wants. He's got to take care of this 4-ball, unless he's going to leave that as a ball to go on either the 6 or the whatever that one is.
I don't think there's any rush. The 10 ball is honestly really good for getting on that 15 because it's close to the side pocket. When the ball is close to the side pocket like that, you have a big area you could be in and still have a very easy shot to get on it. If that ball's another foot out, then it's not so good. And he decides, gets a little straight in here, but he's okay.
Yeah, he's
I think he should play for the 3 ball next. Go forward with right English and play for the 3 ball. And he's not. He's probably playing for the 11. Yeah, where he is now, he needs to shoot the 11.
So he's 8 points behind. So he's, by the time he gets to this break ball.
I didn't really like that shot there. I would have maybe played for the 2 differently. I guess he's going to use the 2 as his break ball. Maybe that was his plan all along.
Well, it's going to be 3-1-10 to get on the 2.
Yeah, it has to be. Well, it has to be 3-1-10. And I'm kind of surprised he's taken in this much time now, which means that the ball he just shot probably wasn't his plan because he should have already known if he was going 3-1-10 if that was his plan. I think he got a little funny out of line. Uh-oh. It's a little more, that's no good. It's a little more critical you got on that 10 good when you had to come across the table for the 2. Okay, so this shot's pretty simple. You roll this with a little bit of left English. You come off the long rail and let it come back across. Just one rail. You're going to come right off the long rail. You don't want to try to spin around. You don't need much English here.
Well, he's leaking away a bit. He's leaking away.
Yeah, he put a little bit too much English on it and maybe hit a little too hard, but he's still okay. Now this is a shot. This is a shot. You don't have to put a lot of top on it, but you want to roll it. I'd put probably a tip of top on this. This is not a shot you want to stun.
Well, dare I say it, big shot again, and he's nailed it again. And has he got a shot, though? Has he got a shot?
Yeah, I think he's going to be good, isn't he? God, did he really get screwed?
I don't think he's got a shot.
Well, he hit that good, and he got screwed.
Unbelievable.
The ball went straight to the end rail like it was supposed to, and he just, this is kind of the luck part of it. He played a good break shot, and boy,
dear, this is just incredible. He's nailed to the 7. He's not.
I'll tell you what I might do here.
You blast the 6, Steve, and cut that. You blast the 6 and cut it. I think he can.
He's got a safety. Okay, he can.
Oh, I think he needs to do a stub.
If he puts the ball on the end rail, like behind the 9, even if he rolls a little far, you've got 6, 15, 11, 5. None of those balls go.
You think he can bank that 7 ball? I think he's way too close to make anything of that 7 ball.
I mean, it's possible. I think he needs to put a little right English on it.
Look at the angle. Well, let's see. No, in fact, I don't think he can get to the 6.
I'll tell you what I would shoot here if I'm shooting. I would bank the 6 and call the 8 because see how that 4 ball's sitting there? There's a good chance that if you hit that 4 ball, you're going to make the 8. If you hit the 4.
Yeah, it's a big target, isn't it?
Yeah, I would bank the 6 if I was to shoot.
Bank the 6, call the 8. Yeah, he can't get to the 6 to cut it. That's the problem. He's right on top of that 7.
The other thing is he could take a foul here. Now there's times when you want to take a foul. This might be one of them.
Yeah, I just tap the 7 and do nothing.
Well, because what you can do is you could just push this over behind the 9. Okay, push it off the rail and try to roll it behind the 9, and take the foul. And why would you do that? Well, you would do that because from over there behind the 9, you probably have more safety opportunities that you can play a legal shot on that you're not going to foul.
Yeah, it probably would.
I'd either bank the 6 or take a foul here.
Well, he's calling the 6 into the corner. Has he got? Can he get that there? That's a
He can, but I'm not sure he can shoot this without hitting a 7. It's
that's the
close.
thing that I was worried about, that he can actually get to this without skimming the 7.
Well, he's put a lot of English on it. Oh, watch out.
Oh no,
God darn.
no.
He almost scratched, but it didn't go in.
Well, he's now. This is the same as his 69 visit. He ended up being 2 points behind Cobra, and he's done the same again. Only this time he only got what, 15. Well,
So think about this though, guys. If he would have just pushed the ball off the side rail and tried to roll it behind the 9 and taken a foul, once he's there, then he has a lot more choices about what to do if semi-pro fouls back.
Cobra, you mean?
Or Cobra,
yeah. You're right.
So
you're right.
There's times to take a foul on purpose in this game. Most of the time when you see guys take a foul on purpose first, it's a mistake. But, you know, there's times when it's a good thing to do, and I think that might have been one of them. I wasn't against shooting a shot he shot. I mean, that was a reasonable play. Banking a 6 on the 8 was a reasonable play. But the reason I would have just pushed the cue ball off the rail behind the 9 if I decided to play safe is that it was easier to get it into that position doing it that way than playing off a ball.
I agree with you, yeah. I think if he had rolled up to that, you know, up to the short rail and tried to get behind the 9, I think he'd have been good. He would have lost a point, but he certainly wouldn't be losing these points from that position. He would have had a good chance to hit a ball and get something to rail and probably bump into the back of the pack.
Yeah, well, that's assuming you get the speed right.
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah. If you get things
like that,
out
the 14.
Well,
if he came
put it this
short,
way,
you know.
he would have had a better option than what he ended up doing. But then again, if he'd got the shot, he'd have been a hero, and that's a risk you take, isn't it?
The thing I liked about the safety play was, as long as you weren't short and sell the 14 out, if you roll a little long on that, he had 2 combos and maybe a very difficult cut in the side that he was leaving Cobra. And Cobra would be looking at going, man, I don't really want to shoot any of these. And it would have put the pressure on Cobra to make a decision.
Well, Cobra's trying to make amends for his last visit, because it was only about, what, was it 15 or something like that? It wasn't a lot. So Cobra's, you know, he knows he has to deliver.
Steal my idea. Who's stealing whose idea?
Yeah, what's he talking about?
I don't know.
Well, Chimpy said bank the 6 and the 8 into the side. The one that you mentioned. I don't know whether I don't know whether Chimpy.
Looking at the chat.
Yeah, neither was I. I don't know whether.
I just saw that the 4 ball was there and could help it. If you came up short and hit the 4, there's a good chance you're going to make the 8 too.
He might be a bit straight in this 6. Yeah, he's okay. Well, he's going to have to probably deal with the 10 ball as a break ball if he can get to the 9, and I don't think he can.
Well, he's funny right there.
Yeah.
He's going to have to shoot this 13 and come back table for the 1 ball or the 14.
And then, of course, he needs to get good.
Pocket's a possibility here.
He needs to get good on this, where he doesn't really want to be bumping into the 14 though.
Well, he doesn't have much choice.
Well, not now.
He could shoot the 14 here, but I think the shot is to shoot the 1. This is a little tricky because he's always got the 10. You got to draw this and place position off the 14 for the 9. The 14 is probably going to hit the 9. This is kind of indeterminate, and you know, he always had this shot on the 10.
Well, the problem now is he might have to change the break ball here.
Well, he could go up and down the table, but I don't think I'd do that. I think I would just accept the fact that I'm going to break off the 14, shoot the 10, shoot the 9, and then off the 14, you know, I'd try to draw it back into the corner ball on the rack. And the reason I do that is because going up and down the table on the 9 ball is you know, too many things can get funny. I wouldn't have done that.
Uh-oh, you did a double
See,
kiss there.
I would have just left the 14 there. I would have hit that with draw and a little inside and just check it on the rail and shot the 9 and been done with it.
Well,
Now,
this 14 ball going up to the short rail, isn't it? Up to the long rail.
He can get the cue ball above this and possibly come up with a break shot, but this is really not the shot you want to have to shoot.
Well, he's 14 points in the lead. Oh, and he's missed it. He's missed it. Well, he's not really exactly left an invitation to the party for hairpig, though.
That was a huge mistake deciding to bump the 14. He should have just played position for the 9 ball and left the 14 where it was and used the 14 as a break ball.
Now,
this is funny too.
Is he just maybe hoping to get lucky here that he maybe nudged that 9 ball into a spot where he can slam it?
You have to drag this. He didn't drag it.
He's hoping
he screwed. You needed to drag it into the 9 ball, and the reason why is you could hit a little more of the 9 ball, plus it would have slowed the cue ball down and kept it below the rack.
Well, here's the thing, guys. The problem was he only had 3 balls left, and the 14 ball was going to make do whether it was tight to the rail or not. He didn't have much choice.
Let's see. The 3 doesn't go. He hasn't given up anything super simple. Let's see. Does that 8 ball go off the 13? It's close, but I wouldn't shoot it.
He's looking at he said a quick look at the 14 onto the 1, but I don't think he can get there.
No, he's always got the 6. He can play safe here too. He can shoot the 6 off the rail and draw the cue ball back into the 4. That's probably what I'd do here. I'd shoot the 6 and draw the cue ball back into the 4.
He's back looking at the 1. I don't think he can get there. I mean,
the problem is
chances are he would catch the 11.
If you draw the cue ball back in the 4, you could give up the 2-3. Well, he tried to hit it easy. The problem with that is he left the 6 ball there. But, I mean, that's no bargain.
No, I don't think the hairpig will be interested in that. Mind you, the thing is that you can't cut the 6 up the table and try and come back to the pack because the chances are you're leaving it on. Is he lost his hairpig on a foul? No, he isn't.
No, but he may take a foul here.
Yeah.
And why would you take a foul here? Well, you're going to move the rack some. So sometimes you take a foul to change the rack around. You don't want to just bump this and not change the rack. If you're going to take a foul, you need to move some balls a little.
Hang on, what's he thinking on here? Is he thinking, how can you squeeze that 3 ball in at this angle and that tight? Cue ball's right on top of the 2.
The 14 would have worked as a break ball. I mean, you don't have to blast it. I mean, obviously, if it's on the rail, it's a little harder to make, but these pockets are big and you don't have to blast it.
Can he get? He's on the other side of the 2, so you can get to the 6. He's calling the bank.
Yeah, you only have to blast that 14 ball if you come straight into the rack. If you pull the ball back and try to catch the corner ball, you don't have to hit it hard.
Oh,
boy, he hit it good. Just not good enough.
Well, whatever you say, it's still a chance for Cobra. He's got work to do, though.
Yeah, well, this is a good opportunity right here. Shoot the 5 and come right into the 13 because you're going to get a shot on the 10 or 9 ball.
Well, that's freed up a couple of balls.
Yeah, this is a very good match. I mean, both these guys have played well.
Well, it's in the balance at the moment. Definitely in the balance. Could go either way. Dead straight.
Yeah, but he's fine. He's got plenty of time. Now, he might have to use his 3-ball to open that up. Oh, no, he won't. He's going to, little stun shot here. Then he's going to shoot the 13 and open him up, and could possibly put a ball on top of his 3, but he's got to do that. Oh, he got straight. He didn't want to do that.
He can squeeze it a little bit, but
Yeah.
you know, he can take a bit.
I think he will too. Because if he can get into the 4-ball there, then it opens up for the 2-ball. I think he needs to, you know, because otherwise he's going to end up shooting his.
Yeah, he can just shoot
the 3 potentially
into the right side of the pocket.
He can shoot the 8-ball. Yeah, he went that way. He had the 8-ball. He could have broke him with.
In fact, is he on that 2? If he's on the 2, he'll get rid of it. Yes, he is. Yeah, he'll get rid of the 2. I mean, that's in the pack anyway, so the 3-ball sitting there, and that'll be good enough. So he's in good shape once he deals with these 2 balls down table.
Yeah, and you can leave those 2 balls for last. You got to be a little careful though, because the way they're sitting, you can get yourself in trouble. Because the 14 doesn't go in one of the pockets, and you get a little funny on one of those balls, and you're having to play shape on the other one.
Yeah, I think he's, you know, again, if it's me, I'd much rather come down there and get them dealt with. Because then because all the time you're potting balls up that end, you'll get that,
well,
you'll get these 2 balls in the back of your mind.
I'd like to at least get rid of one of them. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to leave both of them up there, just because.
Now, does he go? Does he go with a bit of left English off the 7 and cut down behind the 3 and 4? You know, in between, in the gap.
No, I would have put right English on it, and I would have put right English on that and gone 2 rails around to shoot the 14. You would have had to hit it hard, but it's easy shot. See, now he's funny.
Yeah, because he's blocked off in the 10 or whatever it is. Is that the 14?
What do we say about thinking twice before you juice up the cue ball, especially with inside English?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he should have hit that hard with outside English and gone 2 rails around for the 14. Now he's going to have to.
He's forced his own hand here. He has to play the 14.
And this shot sucks because you can scratch off that 6-ball. You got to be careful here. If you just roll this, you can scratch off that 6-ball unless you hit it really easy.
Well, he could dig in, couldn't he?
He could dig in. That's a tough shot, though, at this angle.
He's digging deep.
Yeah, see, and that's why that's a tough shot at that angle, because you just don't. It's hard to get the ball to come back.
Well, you know what you do now. You run the cue ball, take the risk, and get on the 6 from this ball that you're on right now. You have loads of room. You'd be unlucky to scratch, but that's the risk you take. No, he's not. He's going by other means.
Yeah, I like that shot because it's easy to get onto the 3-ball from the 6.
Yeah, he's running on top of the 6 this way. He'll be over here somewhere.
This is just natural shape to get to the 6. You can just roll this.
Well, he's certainly using all of the pocket and all of the rail.
Well, he didn't need to roll it that easy because he got funny on the 6, but he's still okay. I mean, this is not a hard shot. He's going to get a shot on the 3. And that's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, ran out a little. It's a little straight, but he's fine. Yeah, I would definitely draw this one a little. I would not stun this one. You want this to come off the rack and separate a little. Maybe a half a tip because you're going to hit it hard. You don't need a lot. And I would have hit it harder than that, but, you know, he got the cue ball to separate, and that's what was really important.
Well, is this the run to the finish line? That's the question we're all asking.
Well, he's sitting good. I'd take a whack at this 1-ball probably. You want to hit that with a bunch of draw because it's going to come on that 6, and you want to pull him back in that. He could shoot the 5. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that either. I actually like him not shooting the 1 because he's picking off some of these balls that, You shoot the one and you're going to push balls on top of other balls. What he's doing is probably the right approach.
Coming out for either the 1 or the 10, is he? Nope, he's going a lot further than that. I think he wants rid of the 11.
Well, I think he's going to shoot the 5 here and then maybe the 11. Well, I'm not sure why he's doing this now. Because he got rid of the 7, which was the ball that guaranteed him a shot. See,
Really?
if you're going to shoot that 1, he should have shot it before when he had the other ball there.
Well, hang on till I find my buttons. Hang on a minute.
I mean, he came out okay, but, you know, that he was taking a chance there.
Well,
I mean, as a general rule, anytime you're going into the rack with that kind of shot where, you know, the balls aren't going to separate that good and you could get stuck, you want a ball sitting there that you know, no matter what happens, you're, you know, 99% sure you're going to have a shot on that one ball. And that wasn't the case once you got rid of that 7 ball.
well, he should be good for 5 ball up the table and then play the combo as well to get rid of that.
And he's going to run into 13
He
here.
might bump them now, yeah. I see, this is the thing. Why bump them when the combo's already there, though? You know, it could end up worse.
The combo's not sitting that good. I would have bumped that every time just because.
Okay.
Well, I don't like combos too, but that combo was sitting funny, especially with the 5 ball there. He needs to get to the 4 ball because that's blocking a 9 and 10.
Now, can he? I mean, this is kind of daft shot I would do. I would go and try and spin in behind the 12 and come around for the 4.
You can do it, but that's a tough shot. I mean, things can go wrong on that shot. Like if you hit the back of the 12, you could even scratch. So from here he can stun up and shoot the 4. He's looking at shooting one of the 13 or 5 up table. I'd probably play for the 4 ball here because you need to get rid of it.
Oh,
he did play with
me,
the 4
unbelievable!
Ball.
He's rattled the 12. Would you believe it? Oh, that's definitely annoyed him. Well, here we go. The break balls are sitting there. Hairpig playing the combo. We've got the blue donut, which I prefer better than the yellow donut.
Boy, that's not a shot you expected him to miss.
No way did we expect him to miss that. Well, this is. Is there going to be one more twist in this? Or is Hairpig going to bite the bullet here and take it home?
Well, he needs to go from the 13 or the 5 and shoot the 9 or the 10. And now it's going to have to be the 13, which I would have played for the 5 because I think it's easier to get on the ball. Now you got to go. He's going to have to go behind the 5 here probably.
Yeah, is he not just going to dink through and get rid of the 9? Is that the 9?
No. Well, see, this is funny. See the problem here? Now see the angle he's got on the 9?
Yeah, but
he's okay. He's going to have to go forward and around. I mean, I would have, off the 4, I would have played shape for the 5. And he may have been trying to do that and just came up short on it. Because from the 5, you just shoot a stop shot and you're right on the 10 ball.
I'm worried that he's catching some of that 10 ball if he plays a 9.
He's looking at shooting his 5, which wouldn't be bad. As long as you get a reasonable angle on the 9, you can draw back. Well, he's drawing this. I don't like this at all because he's going to hit the 5. See, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, if
he was going to shoot the 9, he needed to go forward. He could have shot the 5 and played for a little angle on the 9 and then just did a soft draw back to get on the 10. I mean, he had 2 choices that were better than the one he made. I think the one he made was kind of a comfort choice, and I think it was the worst of the 3 he had. Actually, he could have shot the 10 ball too, which would have been a better choice.
Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do there. Was he trying to get into the pack? I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to leave the cue ball in the pack.
Get some kind of break shot. Would have been a wonderful one, but it would have been something. But yeah,
Now,
I mean, that was...
Let's look at what he's trying to do here.
That was a disaster. I mean, Cobra coughs up a fur ball, and Hairpig couldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, just 4 points to show for his efforts there.
Yeah, that was...
well,
that was the first time. This isn't bad. So you're going to be coming across, probably hitting 7 or the 5 ball here.
Watch the scratch.
No, it won't scratch.
Oh.
That kind of shot won't, because see, the cue ball's coming into the back of the pack, and the English it has on it's going to hit the side rail and come out. He just didn't hit it hard enough. He could have hit that pretty hard. That's not a scratch. That's not a break shot you would typically scratch on.
Well, he's going to obviously bump the 14. He's come out clean, and he's good to go.
And that's well done.
Well, this could be... Hairpig may well have played his last shot.
I'd shoot the 1-8 combo right now. Get some of those balls out of there.
Oh yeah, it's dead.
He's not gonna, but the 1-8 combo is just sitting so good. I'd shoot it right now. He's going to play for the 15 here, and that's a good... See, now that's a good shot to play for, because you shoot that 15, you know you're going to get a shot on the 4 almost for sure. You would have liked to stun this over.
Yeah,
not be right against the rail.
Yeah, he wouldn't like to be nailed to the rail like this, though. That's the problem with this.
He may jack up on this a little bit. No, he's not gonna. See, I didn't like really hitting it that way, but he's okay. So I would shoot the 9 and play shape on the 12, get that out of there.
Yeah, he's looking to see what goes in this setup from this side. And the 1 certainly doesn't go, but the 7 does go. If you can just drop the 9 in, you can get rid of the 7.
Yeah, that would be a good ball to shoot.
Yeah,
I don't think he can from where he is, though.
You might be right. I don't...
Yeah, the 3 doesn't go. So he's... Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's tight. I think the 7 might still go, but it's really, really tight. You'd have to nail it. It looks too tight for comfort, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You don't want to play guessing games at this point.
Yeah, it is a guessing game. Yep. Now, was he playing a sort of two-way shot there, maybe hoping to get...
he was trying to get on the 7 again.
Yeah,
but,
I think he was. I think he was.
That's such a hard spot there. I would have played for the 4 ball and shot the 4 ball in the same pocket, and then go over and bump the 1-7.
You know, he's just threatening to go really pear-shaped here. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. Because you look at what he's setting, he's got to cut this 2. Or cut the 4, or... No, I'll do it.
Well, he's got to stop trying to get on the 7 in that one little hole. That's
yeah, see, that might be played... Well, I think the longer it sits there like that, of course, with balls running out, the more it plays in his mind.
Man, there he goes. He didn't get on the 4.
And...
He's sort of...
He's in trouble.
He's trying to get on the 7 twice in one little gap that's a teeny spot, and that's... Well, here we go. I think he's going to shoot the 3 and bump those.
Yeah.
So he may be able to get the 7 across for a break ball. Well,
one of them's going to have to work.
Yeah, I would use the 4. I think it's sitting a little better. You know, his big problem is getting on the 4. I think he needs to shoot the 7 here, come up for the 6, then use the 1 to get on the 4.
Well, it's going to be a break for the match if he gets there. He's on 139.
Well, he's certainly not making it easy on himself.
Well, again, he's under pressure. Make no doubt about it, he's under pressure. Well, this... what's he played for there? Did he play to get on the 6, or did he play for the 1? I mean, he's obviously can pot any of them, but...
Well, you know, mistake-wise in this match, I think it's about even. I think they've both made a couple pretty severe mistakes, but you know, there's been a minimal amount of them, and I think Hairpig's played just as good as Cobra, even though he's behind at this point.
Well, what do you do for the break shot here then? I mean, 6 balls going in, obviously.
He put the wrong English on that. He wanted to come down the other side of the table.
Well, I think Cobra's running for cover here in a minute. I think he's just accepting that fact. He's just going to take what he can get here and duck, which is not the wrong thing to do. I think it's sensible enough.
He wants to hit this easy and leave the cue ball on the right side of that rack, and that's harder than I would have hit it. And the reason why is because he would have had an angle he could just roll up onto the rack and play safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, he could go crazy here if he wants.
Yeah, this probably isn't worth it. It's probably better to play safe and put the head ball in. See, that's just a silly shot. That's a stub shot. That's how you lose. You know, that goes in the pocket and Hairpig could run out.
So, Cobra on 143 and Hairpig on 95, so he's at least going to get back to the table.
This is the wrong play. Oh, he hit it great, though. I would have played off the back of the rack there every time.
Did he just scrape the paint off that ball, yeah?
He did, but you risk bumping that 12 out and selling out.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the shot you want to shoot. He needed to play off the back of the rack there. And that's well done, because he's got that locked.
Well, dare I say it, this is a safety exchange that one player has to win. We all know who that is.
Well, Cobra's in trouble here. Let's see. He's going to probably shove this thing out to the side rail here.
Well, the thing is, if he
needs to thin the 12 and just go to the side rail.
Yeah, if he thins the 12 and comes to the side rail, he's not leaving anything on.
Well, nothing that wonderful.
You can't get to the 6 to pot it. Has he left anything in the pack? I don't think so. And I don't think I don't think Hairpig's at a desperate enough stage to be trying something crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's put Hairpig in actually a pretty difficult spot here. And that was well played.
I would settle for that. And this is where you get really nervy at this stage. Believe me, the two of them are nervous because it's, you do one wrong move here, and you'll leave something on.
Well, he can play off the 14, go up to the end rail, and he's got to bring it down far enough for if there's no shot on the 7, which means he's got to get it out of the kitchen. But you can shoot off this 14 and come back down table. You actually got a pretty big area where you're not giving up a shot.
Yeah, he's got to get past the side pocket if he does that. He definitely has to.
No, he doesn't.
Well,
because the 7 ball doesn't go once you get out of the kitchen.
Well,
there's no shot there.
Just for comfort's sake, he wants to get that far, but I don't know whether he's seeing that shot. He might be seeing it now.
The fact of the matter is, you got about 3 diamonds of table length.
Oh, he's definitely listening to the stream. Then that'll do it.
Yeah, and this is not a great position to be in if you're Hairpig. I mean, this is tricky. Now, the reason why that was a good shot, the way he hit it, is because you've got some distance now between the cue ball and the pack, so it's much more difficult to play some kind of subtle safety here.
It's all about the touch and confidence and control with that mouse.
And that was well done.
That'll do.
But did he leave something?
Well, he's left a crazy combo in the 7, if you fancy that.
You mean a billiard Karen
no,
shot?
No, I'm talking about cutting the 10 onto the 7 and doing something daft.
Oh no, I'd play the 6. I'd play the 6
The
off
6?
the 7. I mean, that's a viable shot.
Can you get to it?
Well, the thing is you've got the 8 ball there too, which makes the pocket big.
No.
Although the 8 ball's a little far from the pocket, you'd have to hit that 8 ball really hard for it to help you.
No, Cobra's.
Can you get to it? It's close.
He's had a look, but he's not interested. Well, I wonder if hairpig's may be interested, because we've seen what he did earlier on.
Honestly, I kind of like that shot. If this was me, I'd be shooting it.
Oh, well, it's all or nothing if he does this.
Well, here's the thing: is that the tendency on that shot is to come up a little short, hit between the 8 and the pocket, but you can draw this, which forces the 6 ball forward and draw the cue ball back into the rack. Hit it hard and draw it. I think it's a good shot. I'd be blasting away at that thing. I certainly wouldn't be shooting a combo, although it's not a terrible shot. I like the Karen better. I think it's an easier shot. He's looking at playing safe here, which I would not play safe off this 10 ball because there's too big a chance you're going to separate something and sell out.
Oh, he's taking the bait. He's taking the bait.
I think this is a good shot. It'll be interesting to see if he draws it or not. I would draw this and hit it hard. That's how I would play it. I think it'd be hard to force it all the way across the pocket, and that's what he's going to do. But he didn't hit it to the 7 straight enough.
Well, it's all over now, folks.
Yeah, see, the way he needed to hit that shot is he needed to cut it into the 7 more.
You know, you take that on, it's a last chance saloon shot. You know, it was all or nothing.
But you know, that shot just runs on tangents. You had to hit it, if you hit it like pretty straight into the 7, it was lined up where it was going to hit between the 8 and the pocket. So you take that line and draw it and it goes in. Or, you know, you could cut it a little less, but I mean, he didn't cut it at all, really. Well,
Cobra will be relieved. But hairpig did make a good match of it. Well, it certainly looked a lot better now than what it did early on.
If you're hairpig, what you want to do after this match is go back and set that shot up and practice it. That's what I always did when I had a shot like that and I missed and lost. Is it's like I'm going to go practice the shot. So because I think it was a reasonable shot, but he didn't hit it very good.
Cobra comes out the winner 150 to 95, and there was the stage there where it could have gone either way, and both of them feeling the pinch, and that makes it a great match to watch.
Well played, hairpig.
Let's have a look, and we'll get confirmation. We've now got where the hell is he? There he is. Cobra now through, and he's waiting on the winner of the match tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow morning, depending on where you are in the world, because the one remaining match on the one-loss side on the schedule is the Fast Eddie VP Monster match. It goes at 4 PM tomorrow afternoon. I'll be home in time for that. And then, of course, they know who they're going to be playing. And it should be an interesting match to watch. Fast Eddie will be the favourite, but Monster can pop balls. But whether he'll have the same sort of, I think the thing with Monster is he tends to let that cue ball run too loose a bit too often, and that might catch him out. But you never know. I still say anybody can win it.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, Bedhead. I think the reason he missed it is because he hit it the wrong way. Now, he hit that into that 7 ball so thin that even if he didn't draw the ball, he would have missed it. Because the draw forces it forward, but he hit that so thin he would have missed it regardless. and hitting it hard actually makes it not go forward as much. So the problem was he did not get the carom on the right line. But I thought it was a good shot to shoot it. I would have shot that shot every time in real life if I was playing a match. Wouldn't matter how much money I was playing for, I would have shot that shot because I think it was the right shot.
Well, there we go. We've still only got 2 3-figure runs in this tournament. Cobra's still the top.
I agree 100%, Hairpig. You just got the line wrong. You need to be way thicker into the 7 ball.
Well, it was a good performance here, Pig, especially after the start. I thought that was a great little carom shot or billiard shot that you pulled out, and that was something similar there at the end, and it was just unlucky. You get it, you're still in with a chance. If you miss it, you're going to leave it all on.
Hairpig, you played really well.
I thought you battled well. I thought you proved you had the stomach for it and you were up for it, and it made it a good match. And Cobra was worried. Believe me, he was worried all the way.
Well, you made a couple mistakes, Hairpig, but Cobra made a couple mistakes too. I actually thought you played as good as Cobra. I mean,
look at the ball.
The score doesn't have you winning, but I thought you played really well. I don't think he played better than you.
Cobra's sitting like 8 inches from the 15 ball to cut it into the corner, and he rattles it on these big pockets. They're so easy. It's amazing what you can miss, But that was a very enjoyable match to watch. Very enjoyable. So there's only one left. I don't know whether Steve's going to get out of his bed tomorrow to watch that match, but I'll be there for it.
Let's see, what time is it?
It's going to be 11 a.m. your time.
Hugh, I wake up early.
Yeah, but you might be falling asleep again before the match starts. But anyway, I'll be here. I'll have Discord open if you are around. So
I'll probably be here too. I don't see why I wouldn't be at that match.
So hopefully, and again, if you guys don't get to see it, then it will be on the playlist. I'm going to add this one on it straight away before I forget. I forgot about the one last night and added it. So good match. Well done to Cobra. Cobra's walking the tightrope here, boys. He's there for the taking. If anybody wants it, Hairpig had a good go at it. Who else wants to have a go at Cobra? And who else wants to have a go at semi-pro? Because they're the two, in theory, strongest players left in the tournament. They're there to be scalped.
Well, semi-pro's got to get past Woody, and if he does, then he's got to get past Mr. Bill. Well,
semi-pro's going to. He knows fine well. We're labelling him. We're putting him as the favourite against Woody. But Woody walked a tightrope against Spudboy, so you just never know. So it's who wants to win it. Who wants to win it most? Is there a dark horse going to win this tournament, or are we just going to hand it to Cobra again? I'm trying to.
Cobra.
Cobra's got
quite a ways to go. He's got quite a ways to go.
Don't discount Acero. He might be up for the job this time around. He's done better than he's done in most tournaments. To put it that way, he's still in it.
Whoever gets to the hot seat, they're one win away from winning the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, good luck to all the guys still in it. If you can, join us tomorrow afternoon. I'm heading for a coffee. And I would like to thank you all for joining us again. And thanks to Steve for his company and his contributions. And we'll bid you good night. Stubb has no chance. Stubb's gone home. Right, we'll see you later. Take care.
Later.